all the bases are covered. If you're looking for a dark sound with a low pitch indoor, or you're looking for a super bright, snappy sound in drum corps, everything's there. I don't know that any other drum company right now is offering that. This ability to kind of carve out your own sound, not just on what tape you put on your bottom head or what heads you put on, but the actual snares themselves. My name is Botello. I'm from Arlington, Texas. I'm assistant percussion director over at Arlington High School. I get up and I teach every day. Hopefully see my students go way beyond anything I ever dreamed of. I've been here in Mapex for 4 years now. I was asked to come out here and film some content on the QMKII Snare Drum, share my experience with the drums, unboxing it, and kind of searching through to find a good sound out of the drum. The drum itself was obviously very beautiful, and I didn't know really what to expect out of the drum as a new snare throw-off mechanism. I was able to get it tuned up and get a really good sound out of it, very simple. I was very pleased with the depth of the drum. It had a deeper, darker sound. The snares themselves were easier to manipulate. Now with the option to have different styles of guts, I've really liked the idea of the different materials that they're made of and the sounds that you can get changing so much. I experimented with the black snares. Those are my particular favorite. How articulate and short that sound is with that particular snare gut. All three of them are different. You have your classic one being a little bit of a warm sound. And then the tiger stripe guts, they're headed towards being snappy, like the black, but it's kind of in between. Of course, you can mix and match to find your sound. As I've been tuning it both at home and here today, I've gotten to kind of get to know this sound a little bit more, and I knew the sound from the Mark I, and to me, this drum is a lot more versatile. I tuned it very low today, and then I was able to crank it up over time, and I don't think I'm losing the snare response when I'm going higher or lower as much as I felt I was losing it in other drums. The system itself allows the snares to be super loose on that bottom head and sit and resonate the right way, and if people will just leave them there like that and not bone them up where they end up making a smile, I think that this is gonna be a really good drum for a lot of people. If you're a particular program that does a lot of marching band and it goes immediately into indoor, having these different sets of bridges, it's just such a fast change. Groups are gonna do something like play indoor and then they have a performance where they're playing their cadences. You don't want your drums tuned necessarily the same, so you could switch out your bridges back into something a little bit darker and have that snare sound you had in fall. A lot of times we run into the problem now with modern writing and modern sound design, where we have a snare feature and it might have a vocal sample that's with it. You're changing the frequencies that you're trying to have this snare drum produce. A lot of times tape and cranking snare guts up is just not enough. This snare system offers more options to find that perfect sound. I think that as this activity continues to evolve more and more, we're gonna look towards more of this stuff. Our old traditional equipment is kind of getting outdated, and things like this are pushing the activity forward.